So it's about, I'm talking about IHA and shit. You know, how my parents investigated me like an IH agent. If you guys know, I put it on a different hat because it just matches better. But let me tell you about drinking real quick. Before we get into the next story, we got another about 21 minutes left for this episode, for this show. So let me tell you about drinking. All right, I gained 10 pounds in a week from drinking Budweisers. Now, if you're one of those kids that, you're about 18, 19, right? You feel like you're underweight and shit. And you just want to gain a little bit of fat so you can be warm in the wintertime. Right? You want to be warm in the wintertime. You don't want to be out there freezing and shit, right? You don't want to be out there going like... Right? You don't want to look like a fucking chihuahua on steroids that's, hit with some heroin shit, right? You're cracking and you're fucking shivering, shaking and shit, right? Let me tell you. I'm drinking a beer. So during these shows, I get about a 30-minute intermission, right? After every about, I want to say 15, 20 minutes worth of the show. I get a 15 intermission, right? I usually go poo, take a shit, fart, whatever, right? I burp, do my shit. I usually go down and make some dinner. Because I record these shows at about, let's see here, 6 at night, so 6 p.m., 6 to 7. Usually goes about 6 to 7, because these are half-hour shows, but they're cut into 2 episodes, so you guys don't really miss anything. So, I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret, okay? I'll let you in on a little secret. If you want to make great YouTube videos, and you want to make great shows and shit, right? You guys got to be in it to win it, You have to be out here doing your shit. Doing it the right way, too. I found out my passion is drinking and telling stories, I sit here, drink and tell stories, state some facts and opinions, shit like that. Which is exactly what I'm doing now. And this setup you guys see here, this is not a stage. This is my bedroom. Right, this is all real stuff. Right, doors and everything closed. But I mean that shit happens on set anyways. I've been on set a few times. I've seen what it's like. Everything is operational. So, that's what it's like on set. Funny story for you guys. So my parents went out tonight. Oh, it's a Friday night. It's the 13th? Friday the 13th. And they're going to a show at the Fisher Theater in Detroit. Okay? They're going to this Fisher Theater in Detroit. Doing their thing. I'm doing my thing, I'm telling stories. I'm drunk as shit. My 5th beer of the night. Probably have one more, and then I'll probably end the show there. That is if I can finish one more. Because I can only... if I'm on a boat or I'm on a trip somewhere, I can usually finish about 6 to 10 beers. If I'm on a cruise, it's usually about 10 to 16 beers in one night. So I start drinking at about 6 or 5 on a cruise, and I go all the way till 5 in the morning. So I'm drinking a shit ton, right? But it's not all beer, right? Drinking one thing is nasty. Drinking multiple things, it's a little bit of a twist. But I drink beer on the show because it's a light alcohol and you can still function and talk and shit. But it takes time for it to hit you. Right? It takes time for it to hit you. And I know a lot of you guys are going to question me saying, what's wrong with you? Why do you drink so much? And I'm sitting here like, damn, are you my mother? Right? I'm sitting here like, damn, are you my mom? You guys notice I had this hat on in the first part of the show. But yeah. So if I'm on a cruise, I'll usually drink 10 to 16 beers in one night. along with some other alcohol. But I pee it all out anyway, so it really doesn't matter. Let me tell you about beer, right? Let me tell you about beer. Beer will make you pee more than okay. So I just went pee about 5 minutes ago, 7 minutes ago. I have to go pee again. We're gonna hold it for the next 30 seconds, and then we're gonna cut it. If you drink beer a lot, like excessively, you will go to the bathroom multiple times, and that's no fun, right? You're standing there, you're doing a show and shit, right? You're just standing there like, oh man, I gotta pee. You're on stage and shit, right? You're in front of like maybe 100 to 200 people, depending on how big the comedy club is. Now, I've been there. Right? So when I was on this cruise, I was in a comedy club. I gotta pee again. So I'm drunk as shit right now. All right, we're gonna finish this beer and then we're gonna end the show. I'm sorry, we got about 5-10 minutes left. This was gonna be an hour-long special, but I don't really see any point in it. I mean, I do, but my camera can only hold so much memory in it. Right. All right. So, anyways, back to my story, or news story. All right. So it's about, I want to say, sophomore year of high school through senior year. It's about to be a story in about 5 minutes. A whole 3 years in 5 minutes. So during my sophomore year, I was a good student. Right. I was a good student. I got all straight A's, right? I got all straight A's, and then so that's sophomore year, right? I got in a little bit of trouble here and there because I'm Alex, I do shit like that. But junior to senior year was a little bit different, okay? Junior to senior year was a little bit different because I got in a fuck ton of trouble throughout my junior and senior year. I mean, I did some pretty bad shit. Including tampering with the school's internet. Now, you guys probably don't even know about all that. No. You guys probably have no idea about all that shit. I'm going to try and clean off the set here, so it's not so messy and dirty. Right, because I don't like my set to be dirty. I like it to be clean. I like you guys to be able to see everything and shit. But I also like it to be a little bit dirty because that's just the way the set is sometimes. Right? That is just the way the set is sometimes. So it's about sophomore year going into junior year, right? It's about sophomore going into junior year, okay? So I'm just learning how to do everything. I'm learning how to do everything, right? I'm learning how to do everything. I'm learning how to do it all. So during school, my junior and senior year, I was never going to be the best student. Never. I knew it. I got straight A's for about a year, sophomore year. I was that good student that sat in the back of the room that would just raise his hand and ask questions. I would ask questions when I was a sophomore. And during my junior year, I got in a lot of trouble. I did stunts in junior year. I broke my arm. I broke my arm, and during this period, I was doing these stupid stunts with my buddy J and T. So J and T, they're like brothers to me. I couldn't see my life without them in it because number one, we all got in trouble together. Right, we all got in trouble together. So every time I would get in trouble, they'd be included because they were part of the cult, right? The Alex cult. And then this kid Donovan, D comes along, right? I tell him about the internet shit. I tell him how I can, mess with it and shit, right? And man, it's about halfway through the year, I want to say. So I personally did not hit off the internet. I had someone in Europe do it, so I could not be caught. But those people in Europe, they got sent to jail because they did it. But that's life. That's life. If here's how I see it. Let me close my beer real quick. If you do something but you sign someone else's name for it, you're not going to get in as much trouble because you're an instigator as the person who's actually doing the action. Okay? You're not going to get in as much trouble. You're just not. So these people in Europe, they got in fucked up trouble. They got sent to prison. Federal crimes from across the country. They hit off the Dow for about 15 minutes. The Dow is if you guys aren't familiar with it, the Dow is a huge stock exchange. It had peak rising things this year, 2018. Right, 2018, they had some big changes. Okay. So he hit off the Dow for about 15 minutes. We set a timer for 15 minutes, whatever, bullshit. And then after that, I get caught. Right, I get caught. They say, what have you been doing to the school? We know it's you. I don't even know how the fuck they knew it was me. Right? They were just assuming shit. And to be honest, I only had about, I want to say, a quarter of a beer in that container. So we're going to go ahead and drink a full, oh shit. So we're going to go ahead and drink a full one. Right? We're going to go ahead and drink a full beer. Well, not a full beer. I have about an eighth left of this. All right. So, see, it's junior year. I'm doing stunts. I'm fucking myself up. Senior year comes along. I'm with J&T. We get back to school. We start talking mad shit about students. Mad shit. I gotta wait till this beer foams out. But I'm sitting there with J&T. We're talking shit, mad shit, right? About all these other kids in the school, how they're fat, ugly, gay, whatever. But let me tell you something about talking shit. Okay? If you talk shit directly to a person, you're not a bully. You're a pussy. Because you've been hurt so many times in the past that's your only defending action is to talk shit about people. Now on this show, I know we talk shit about, one Asian kid, but whatever, but he was a dick to me. But that doesn't make it right. Okay? I didn't really talk shit about him. I just talked about how he showed his penis or whatever. Type shit. Right? Type shit. So we would just talk shit deliberately. We wouldn't even care who it is, what nationality you are, what race you are. It doesn't matter. We were basically neo-Nazis of junior high. Of not junior high. Junior year of high school. I was a junior. These kids were like sophomores. They're a year younger than I am. In school, at least. Jay skipped a grade, so did T. So, we're coming to the end of the show. So, moving on to senior year. I hacked the internet, right? They find out it's me. They question me. And they tell me some crazy shit. They tell me that we're going to graduate you. And I'm sitting here like, I'm sitting in a chair, right? Right. I'm sitting here just bored as shit. Listening to the principal and shit. Right. So, I'm sitting here bored as shit. And out of nowhere, I shit you not, she stands up, right? I'm still sitting in this chair, right? She stands up like this. Looks at me all weird and shit, right? And she's like, scooches my chair back about half an inch, 2 inches, whatever, 1 inch, 2 inches, right? I'm sitting down, right? And I'm looking up at her like this. I'm just kicking it back in the chair. I got kicked out of school for that internet shit. But she looks me in the eyes directly, right? She gives me that deep stare. And she's like, from your grades at your other school, your previous high school, you have enough to graduate. I'm sitting here like this. Raise my eyebrows and shit. I'm sitting here like this, hands in front, in between my legs, grabbing out of the chair and shit, because I'm nervous at this point. My dad's with me and shit. And she says, I think we're going to just graduate you. And I'm sitting here like this, right? I'm sitting here like this, looking her up, have my eyes like, I'm not even looking at her, I'm just kind of looking at the top of my hat, because I had a hat on at the time. And she tells me, we're going to graduate you. So I'm sitting here like, oh shit. Man. Really? But I say it with more enthusiasm, so I'm like, really? You're going to graduate me? For what? Principal stands up, right? Big chest. Tells me, well, you have enough credits from your last school, so we're going to graduate you. And I'm sitting here like this. Well, I appreciate the gesture, but for your information, I failed high school. Or at least 9th grade. I don't know about the rest. And she says, he looks at me, he's like, kicks over a box and shit, arguing with me and shit. Angrily kicks over the box and shit, right? Says to me, has the balls. So we're about 20 minutes into this show. I'm gonna wrap up this story. I'm gonna sit in this little chair here. It's kind of a stool. It's not really a chair, but. So yeah, she tells me that we're gonna graduate you, right? So I'm sitting here like this. Right, I'm confused as fuck. I have no idea what's going on. I say, really? You're gonna graduate me? Drinking a beer at the time. Just didn't know it. Take a sip. Put my shit up on the filing cabinets, right? Oh shit. Put my shit in the filing cabinets, right? And I tell her, you're going to graduate me for what? I failed 9th grade, right? And she's like, yeah, we know, but you took it over again, so, your credits all add up. But I knew she wanted to really get rid of me. Right? And I feel like it's more respectful to do the show standing up. Because it's just kind of what I do. So she tells me, we're going to graduate you. I'm just sitting here like, really? You're going to graduate me? Damn, okay. So I go through with it, right? She doesn't send me my fucking diploma for 4 months. And it's not even June yet, right? So usually when you graduate about May, middle of May, I want to say. So you graduate about middle of May. Shit, right? But she sends me my shit in like fucking February. So she graduated me early. Also, so that's the story. I got in trouble. I got kicked out of school. She sent me a graduation certificate. Didn't let me walk on the stage and shit, right? So now the show's over. I wanted to thank you guys all for watching this show. I try my hardest with this show. I, drink beer. I drank 2 beers. I drank 2 beers this show? 2 beers, yeah. I drank about 2 beers this episode. Of this show. I gotta start calling it episodes because, when I go back on stage. So thank you guys for coming out and watching this episode, but no. it's thank you guys for coming out of the show. I hope you guys did enjoy it. This does look like a set and everything. You got the corner in the wall. I'm probably gonna go puff a cig after this because my parents aren't gonna go home till 11. But thank you guys for all coming out to the show. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys did enjoy, drop a thumbs up. If you learned something new about me, say fuck you in the comments. I learned something new. Yeah, we're about 5 minutes over the show times. But, when you tell a good story, last thing I'm going to say, and then I'm going to end the show. When you tell a good story, it all begins with emotions and other type shit. But, these stories are all true. None of them are fake. All of this stuff that happens in these shows actually happened. Nothing staged. I'm probably going to go finish this beer on the deck. Watch the sunset and shit. Because I'm a classic man. But I want to let you guys know, these shows aren't really something that I wanted to do. But, I have all my gaming. I sold all my gaming shit. I wanted to get into comedy, show telling, storytelling, making shows. And eventually, I want to be able to reach out to you guys. Go to comedy clubs in your state and shit, your countries, right? Germany, Italy, shit like that, right? But if you guys are watching this, okay? If you guys are watching this, the more you drink, the funnier I am. Or the more you smoke, the funnier I am, depending on, however else you feel. But I wanted to thank you guys for all coming out to the show tonight. I really do expect this to move on. Me to gain some good growth. And, to deserve the fans, get the fans that I deserve. That's what it's all about. Getting the fans that I deserve, and also making you guys laugh because you guys are great supporters. I got almost 100 views on my trip, my